Hey snackers, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Snack Master. I'm your Snack Master, Matt Rothstein. Today, another episode by request. I've had a request by my cousin actually, who is one of my biggest supporters, really helps me out with the show. And she wanted me to do a light summer soup. So I thought about the soup repertoire, what do I like, what can I cook, what can I do, and I decided to go with roasted butternut squash. I think that's a great soup. It's not too hard to prepare, it's velvety, it's luscious. I think it's still light though for the summer, light enough for summer anyway. And so we're gonna give it a try. So what do we got here? A butternut squash. We gotta roast this guy, but first, can't roast him like this. You know, he's not gonna cook that way. So what I'm gonna show you how to do, a little bit of our knife skills for today, is I'm gonna show you how to break this guy down. And after we break them down, we're going to dice them up and we're going to toss them with some olive oil, hit them with some salt and pepper, put it on a sheet pan that's been lined with aluminum foil, and we're going to roast it at 425 degrees for 30 minutes. So while we get set up, we're going to bring you guys over so you can see me work on this squash, and then we're going to show you how to put this whole soup together. So don't nobody go nowhere. Alright kids, we're back here on Cooking with the Snack Master, and so what we're going to do now is we're going to break down this squash. Now this is a big guy, he's flat when he's like this, so he's pretty safe, but if we peel him like this and then we try and work with him, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So the first thing I want us to do is we're going to lop off the top here, just like this. And see, that takes a little bit of work, so you're really going to need a sharp knife for this one, gang. If you don't have a sharp knife, you're going to have a problem. Next thing you want to do, because this is so tough, is you're going to want to cut this right down the middle, carefully now. See how I'm working this very, very slowly with my sharp knife? Because, as I always say, I like my fingers where they are. And once you get to the bottom here, there we go. See that? Butternut squash. Now one of the things that we want to do is we need to get rid of these seeds and the stuff in the middle here. So we're going to get out a spoon and we're going to get out a bowl. So once we have a bowl, I know this isn't one of my fancy glass bowls that helps to show you guys everything that I'm cooking, but this is just for garbage, so it'll be okay. And we're just going to take a spoon and we're going to scrape all this out because we don't want the seeds. Some people like to actually roast these seeds. If you're a person who wants to do that, to be a nice crunchy little snack, you can take the seeds and you can toss them in a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and roast them, and then you'll have a crunchy snack. But me, I'm not doing that today. That's another episode. So you just got to use that spoon and work it around until you get rid of all those strings and all of those seeds and all that pulp from the middle. Because that stuff is not snacky. So now, see how that's nice and clean? We're just going to do the same thing to the other side. So we're just going to do that to the other side, same thing. And there we go. So, let's get our garbage bowl out of the way. The next thing we want to do is we need to peel these guys. Now the best way to do that is going to be to lay them flat. And now we have our nice flat surface. It's something we can work with. So we'll just take our peeler while it's flat. And we're going to start to peel. See that? See? And then you might have to lift it up a little bit off the side so you can get all the parts of it. That's okay. Just like with everything else, a peeler is sharp just like a knife is, so just do it carefully as you're watching me do it. Okay, and when you get down to the end piece right there, you're not going to want that either. You're not going to be able to do anything with it, so just, once again, very carefully with your sharp knife, take it off. Now we're going to remove all of these pieces to the cutting board here, to the garbage bowl, and we're going to do the other side. So we take our peeler and just do the same thing on the other side. You just come right across. And once again, the end piece we're just going to take and with our sharp knife, go right through it. Get rid of that. And that, my friends, is a prepared butternut squash. What's next is now we just got to dice this guy up, so let's get into that. One piece at a time. Cut it into manageable pieces. And this doesn't have to be your best knife work, but you do want to make the pieces fairly even so that when you put them in the oven, they roast somewhat evenly. Right? See that? Pretty close to even. And we're just going to do that with the bigger guy now here. Same thing. He's just going to be more pieces. And you do hear that knife sound because this guy is very hard. So again, you got to be careful. And I want to show you what I did just there because that was important. When I have this knife here like this and I have the piece, I got this one end piece left here. And I don't want to just try and go through like that with him because he's getting a little small, which can make it dangerous. So you take it out, turn it to its bigger flat side. See how you have a lot more surface area to work with. Now you can go ahead and once again be safe. And then you just dice it up. Always got to be careful with the knife. These guys, like I said, they're very tough. So you really got to watch what you're doing. Or instead of making a lovely soup, you're going to be going to a lovely hospital. So let's take these guys here because they're in the way. Put them in our bowl. See, now we're back to our pretty bowl, kids. See that? You notice I'm always trying to be careful with the knife work when I got Michael over here and I'm showing Michael what to do with a knife, right, Mike?
Right.
Well, you see how Daddy did it?
Uh-huh.
Good job. Now these, Michael, even though I am showing you how to do a knife, these are getting a little too hard for you to work with. So this isn't going to be the first thing that we let you cut up because this could be a little bit dangerous. Once we start letting you use knives, you'll use something else.
Yeah.
But Michael is getting to that age where we're going to start letting him do it pretty soon. Because you see, Michael loves to cook too, don't you, Michael?
Yes.
See? There we go. A beautiful broken up butternut squash. Now, what's the last thing we got to do here? Last thing we got to do is, like I said, now that this guy's cut up, we're going to hit him with some olive oil. Alright? Get him nice and coated around. Alright, put that aside. Then we got our salt. Season that. Not crazy, but you do want to be kind of liberal because it's a very, very thick vegetable there, very thick root vegetable, and so you want to make sure you get a lot of seasoning on it. And this is some fresh cracked black pepper. I cracked this right before we started the show. We're just going to use all of that. Okay, now we want to give this a toss here. See what I'm doing? You kids might not want to try that at home, but if you want to go ahead and go for the swirly technique and a little bit of that pan flip action, go help yourself, go knock yourself out. It's fun. So we do this right here and give this just another toss around. Make sure they're all coated with the oil and the salt and the pepper. And we get our nice sheet tray. And we're going to put those spread out into an even layer. Just like magic. And it spreads out. See that? It's a pretty beautiful thing. What we're going to do now is roast these guys, like I said before, 425 degrees for 30 minutes. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and when we come back, we're going to show you how to put the rest of this soup together. So You guys hang around and we'll be right back on Cooking with the Snack Master. Alright kids, me and Mike are back here on Cooking with the Snack Master. It's been about 30 minutes, so we're about to take the butternut squash out of the oven, so let's get that first. Pot holder, safety first game. Go in here. Mikey, watch out, it's hot. Okay, pull that out. And the butternut squash are lovely. You can see right there some caramelization on it, which is exactly what we want. We're just going to put those aside for now. Turn off the oven. And let's get into something else now. We got our mise en place here set up for what else has to go into this soup. We have mirepoix. I'm always talking to you about mirepoix and Trinity, but usually Trinity is what you see me cook with. Today we have the original. We have mirepoix. We have celery, we have carrot, and we have onion. Now the way that's done up is there's a ratio that goes with it. It's 50% carrot, 50% celery, and 100% onion, which means in this case we have 1 cup of diced onion, a half a cup of diced carrot, and a half a cup of diced celery. We also have about a tablespoon of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of minced shallot. We have here some maple syrup, real maple syrup by the way, not that imitation stuff. You want to use something real for this soup. And we have here a teaspoon of fresh sage that I just chopped up. We also have a little bit more sage to go later on for the garnish. Finally, we have here chicken stock. 1.5 quarts of chicken stock. Real deal chicken stock, like I always tell you, and we are going to make that stock episode. So what I want to do now is I want to get all this stuff, bring it over to the stove, and we're going to get cooking, so stay right there. We'll be right back. Alright kids, we're back on Cooking with the Snack Master. We're over here by the stove, because now we got to start putting together our soup. It's really not tough to do, you just got to start bringing things together. So first thing we're going to do, we have our pot. It's about a gallon sized pot, give or take, and we have it heated up over a medium heat. We're going to add some olive oil to that pot. And once we have the olive oil in there, Michael is going to start handing us the mirepoix. So Michael, onions first, please.
Okay.
Okay. Again, pour that in, buddy boy.
In here?
Yep, right in there. Okay, we got to make sure we get all that, but good job. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll give that just a quick stir, get it in there. Okay, fantastic. Michael, please hand me the carrots.
Okay.
All right, dump them in. Good job, buddy. Okay. And next, Michael, please bring me the celery. All right, dump it in. All right. Get that in there. All right, a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Alright, just to get that going. And like I said, 5 to 7 minutes is what that's going to take. And then we'll be good to go to start adding in our next ingredients. And it's been 5 minutes or so here. And you can see that these vegetables, this mirepoix here, starting to get a little bit of color on the onions. They're starting to get a little translucent, which means we're ready for our next step, which is, Michael, please hand me the shallots. Yeah, dump it in. Alright, good job. And please hand me the garlic.
Okay.
Alright, I'll do that one because that's going to be a little tough. Alright. Okay. Okay. Like always, we have a nice sizzle going. The shallots and the garlic, both, like I always tell you, we don't want them in there for a long time because they will burn and then they'll be bitter and not lovely. So that right there is pretty much what we want. And already we're ready for our next step, which is the butternut squash. Add in our butternut squash. Get that in the pot, stir it around. See, that's nice and it smells fantastic. I just can't wait for this to be done. So that's good. Next is, Michael, hand me the syrup. Thank you. Dump in our maple syrup. Hand me a sage. Dump in the sage, Michael. Good job. And I want to hit this with another bit of salt and pepper. Season it again, because you got to season and re-season food. I tell you that all the time, especially when you're doing something like developing a soup. The soup is going to have to be seasoned at a few different levels in order to be properly seasoned and get all the flavor that you want. So now that that's all in there, incorporate that. Now we just add in our stock, our 1.5 quarts of chicken stock. Put those guys in there. Give this another stir. And now, gang, what we're going to do is we're just going to let that come up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, we're going to reduce it to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes are up, we'll show you what the next step is. So stay with us here on Cooking with the Snack Master. We'll be back in a little bit. We are back. That's right, kids. We are back, snackers, here on Cooking with the Snack Master. The soup has been simmering for about 30 minutes or so. Pot's not hot. Let's take a look at that lovely, lovely soup. Huh? You see that? It's gorgeous. But we're not quite done yet, because we got one more step. We got the fun part now. I don't know, do you snackers like boating? Well, we got the outboard motor here. It's also known as an immersion blender. And what we want to do now is puree this soup, because butternut squash soup is a pureed soup. You want to serve it chunky? Knock yourself out. You can serve it like this. I'm sure it would still taste great. Me, I like it like this. And by the way, another little tip for you before I get started with this is a little veggie tip. You notice that I used 1.5 quarts of chicken stock in this. Everything else in this is pure veggie, so if you just want to use vegetable stock instead, this would be a great vegetarian soup for you veggies out there. I know you guys liked that veggie burger episode, so thought I'd throw in a veggie tip. But anyway, let's make some noise, gang. Oh, by the way, kids, when you do this, be real careful, because this machine here will help you redecorate your kitchen. You'll have quite a bit of butternut squash soup on the walls, ceiling, and everywhere else if you don't take it easy. So make sure this thing doesn't come too far out of the pot. Alright, gang, we have now pureed our soup. It looks fantastic. I'm going to give it a taste because we got to check our seasoning. So, yeah, nice consistency. Very, very nice. Let's see what we think here. Hi, kids. Soup tasting time. Now to me, we need to season one more time, which is common. Nothing strange about that. Add a little salt, add a little bit more pepper. Not too much though, because I did get that pepper bite at the back of my throat already. A little bit of salt there. One other thing that I want, just for me, is two things. As I tasted it, decided that I want a little more sweetness, so I'm going to go back and get a little more maple syrup. That's just for me. And I want to cream this a little bit. This is an optional step here. You don't have to cream the soup. But for me, I think creaming a soup like this, a pureed soup, helps to bring together the texture a little bit. So I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of heavy cream. And now we got to make some more noise and get all that in there. Alright, once again, we're in business with this. Time to give it another try. Get a clean spoon. Oh yeah, I can already tell just by looking at it what that cream did. It's real good. Oh, soup. Oh yeah. Adding in that little bit more syrup, adding in that little bit of heavy cream just to bring it together. That makes a really nice, delicious soup. So gang, we're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to serve some of this up, show you what it's like, and then we'll wrap things up here and cook it with the Snack Master, so stick around. Alright gang, we're back here on Cooking with the Snack Master, but I have an empty bowl. I don't want empty bowls, I want soup in this bowl. Let's go get some roasted butternut squash soup, what do you say? Got our nice ladle here. Get a nice serving. 3 ladles full for the Snack Master. Nothing surprising about that. And I'm going to go in, get myself a spoon again. Got a spoon right here, and we want to garnish this. There's a couple ways you can garnish this. For me, what I'm going to do is some of the fresh sage, back up that sage flavor. And just put that right over the top of the soup, give it a little nice little sprinkle like that. And that's a beautiful thing. It looks pretty. What you can also do is, remember I mentioned those seeds before from the squash? You take those seeds, toss them in a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, roast them in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes or so. They'll be nice, they'll be crunchy. You can actually use those as a garnish on top of these, add a little bit of crunch to your soup. That's if you like it that way. But this works for me. So what I'm going to do now is go in. Oh, that's fantastic. It's rich, but not too rich. It is a light summer soup, but it's still got a full flavor and a nice texture. It tastes just fantastic to me. It's got that flavor that just sings summer with that nice, vibrant butternut squash. Organic butternut squash, by the way, kids. I went for the big deal. Well, the organic for you. This is a great soup, kids. Me and Mikey are going to go have some soup in just a minute here, but I want to remind you to keep checking us out here on YouTube on our channel, Cook with Snack Master. I want you to find us on our Facebook channel, Cooking with the Snack Master, and give our page a like if you would. You can follow us on Twitter at @the1snackmaster. That's the number 1, kids. And don't forget to check out the blog, cookingwiththesnackmaster.tumblr.com. So please hang out with us on the internet. Please keep up with what we're doing. Please keep watching. Please make this soup and have some. And we'll catch you next time on Cooking with the Snack Master.
Watch the rising stream, the silhouette.